boy, look at your boy. I never felt a fucking beast with a sniper rifle in his hands. Oh, I'm just kidding. I suck. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Never Failing. I'm bringing you some COD Ghost commentary, playing domination on Chasm, whatever the fuck this map is. It's garbage. That's what it is. Too much shit on this map. It's a fucking clusterfuck. Don't really have a Black Ops 2 map to compare this to. This is something more along the lines of Infinity Ward, way more so than Treyarch. But the funny thing with this map is, though, that generally speaking, I have good games when I play on it. I don't know why I hate this map, but when I do decide to play it, I generally speaking have pretty solid games. You know, nothing spectacular, just your normal shit that you see from me on my channel. I'm never gonna ever claim to be a monster at this game, but I think I'm pretty decent. You know, slightly above average at best. Give me them field orders. Anyway, topic of conversation for this. I was gonna actually talk about this map, but I have a couple of more gameplays in which I can talk about this map. So what I want to talk about today is more along the lines of some real life shit, as I try to get these field orders done. But I want to talk about some real life shit, and it's nothing negative for me. It's, you know, nothing deep like it was last time I really got to talking about real life stuff. I'm gonna talk about my profession, what I do, and shit like that. So for anybody that's been on my channel for a while, probably knows that I do work at BMW Manufacturing in the great state of South Carolina. It's the only BMW plant in the United States of America, and it's also the only place in America, you know, in the world, where the X5 SUV, the X6 SUV, and the X3 SUV are produced. They are all produced within the facility here in South Carolina. So if you happen to own one of those, or you know your parents do if you're young, then it was most likely made in South Carolina, depending on the year. X3's something new we've started making, but within BMW we have, you know, different departments. Obviously you have the assembly line, and thank God I don't work on that. I work within the logistics department. And for any of you, because I know I do have some younger viewers, any of you that are not aware of what logistics is or what it's about, essentially it is the parts process flow from getting the parts from a supplier into the plant to the line for assembly to install the part on the car. I have a certain area within my plant that I work in, which I work in the plant where we produce the X3. I have a certain area that I cover, and it's my responsibility to make sure that assembly doesn't have any issues. Any issues that they're having parts wise, I take care of it. I make sure I monitor our systems to make sure we have parts for them and all that good shit. Anyway, I've been doing this since I was 22. Yeah, I was 22 when I started out there, so I'm going on my 7th year, to be my 7th year come June. 7th year having been there. I spent a year as a temporary associate before getting hired on full time. But my entire, you know, time at BMW, I've been in some capacity. I've been a part of logistics, and for the last 3 years, I've been up in our new plant doing the job I'm currently doing. And looking at it now, seeing the transition that I've made. At one point, you know, I'm the wide-eyed rookie, you know, young kid coming in, trying to find this, you know, niche, a spot within the company. It's like, holy shit, there's a lot to this. You know, maybe this might have been more than I would, you know, was bargaining for. But at the same time, I'm a fairly confident and slightly cocky individual. So I was ready for it. It was a challenge. It was the next step in my life to get to where I wanted to be professionally and in my personal life, as far as being able to do the things I want to be able to do for my family, which I was not married. I was dating my current wife at the time. We'd actually been together for about 5 years at that time. I was 17 when we started dating. So get this job, and it's very rare that anybody ever gets hired on permanently without being on the assembly line. So kind of a golden ticket type deal. I mean, don't get me wrong, the golden ticket wouldn't have been there had it not been for the hard work that I put in and all that shit. But it allowed me to get hired on and start making, you know, the type of money I was wanting to make. Gotten to the point now, you know, at 23 I was making, I think it's right at $50,000 a year. Never thought I'd get to that with just a high school education. You know, that's all I did. Graduated high school, went from there. Anyway, I'm fucking rambling on, not even getting to what I want to talk about. Anyway, transition. Damn, I gotta stop saying anyway. Transitioning from being the wide-eyed rookie at that time to now being one of the senior members within the department, especially at our new plant. I've been there since it started pretty much. I'm pretty much the grizzled old 29-year-old grizzled vet at this point. And I see where I was, you know, I was young, I was hungry, eager, wanting to learn, willing to learn, and all that good stuff, to where I am now, being the one that people are trying to learn from, the one that people go to with questions, and, you know, the one that people look to for support. And I love, you know, being that. I really do. I really thoroughly enjoy being able to share my knowledge, and I learn something every day, and I try to share my knowledge with everybody. But at the same time, something I've come to realize in the position is I've grown complacent. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it. I make enough money within my current position. I can be very picky and choosy on if I want to pursue another position within the company. But at the same time, I've turned down opportunities that maybe I should have taken, or, you know, I've put off putting in for opportunities that were there that perhaps I should have taken, but I didn't. Not out of fear of change or anything like that, but out of the fact that I've grown complacent. You know, I've gotten comfortable in my role now, and perhaps to a fault that I've gotten that comfortable within my position. Because, like I said, I'm a very cocky, very arrogant person when it comes to my work. Not so much in, yeah, I mean, I'm cocky in real life to a degree, but when it comes to my job, I feel I am absolutely the best at what I do. And I know Murky Man, if he watches this video, is going to leave a comment. Look, motherfucker, you don't do what I do anymore. You're technically a different position, so you don't count. Nah, Murky Man, very knowledgeable guy. He does work with me and a lot of things. He's the one person I'll actually ask questions to. I'll say that. I'll give him that much right here in YouTube. He's the one person I go to when I have questions, because he's the only person up there that I feel actually has more knowledge than me. Should have never admitted that. Not gonna let me live that shit down. But grown complacent in my position. I'm no longer, I don't have that same drive, that same passion I had when I first started. Let's fucking do this. Let's jump the ladder. Let's, you know, make this shit happen. Because I've reached the top, I feel, as far as my current spot. I feel I'm absolutely at the top of the food chain. And the question becomes at that point, as you see me abuse the fuck out of that overpowered Oracle, and that's a different topic for a different commentary. But as you see, or as I see myself hit that, it kind of hurts a little bit professionally, because I don't want to get to the point where I'm very, you know, I'm just complacent in what I do, because then it no longer feels quite as fulfilling. And one thing I always want to feel like at the end of the day when I leave work, and I know this is probably going to sound corny as fuck, but I want to feel like I made a difference that night. I want to feel like I contributed to the company more so than just sharing my knowledge. So, thinking about looking at potential opportunities that are coming up to see perhaps about shaking shit up. One thing I wanted to do, because we've implemented a new system and all this shit in both of our halls, plants, basically assembly lines. I'm looking for an opportunity to stick with the logistics, because I do love the logistical aspect of it. But I'm looking to go back down to the new plant, or the old plant now where I used to work, and try to help them get that shit straight. Because it's definitely something new anytime you roll out some brand new system to everybody. A lot of people resist change, and I'm no different. You know, I resisted it at first. And I think learning all that kind of brought back the passion, the fire for it. But once again, you know, I feel I've gotten to the point where, you know, I'm where I was before, as far as absolutely feel like I'm the best at what I do. I'm looking for that new challenge. Something to reignite that passion. But we'll see. You know, we'll see. Final score, I can't even remember. It was a pretty solid game. Pretty solid. Anyway, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed the commentary. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay to a degree. You know, that's something I normally don't say, but I feel like I've gotten better at this game as time has gone on. I'm better at hiding in corners. Anyway, thank you for watching.